Hello everyone, Danny here today to talk to you about an audiobook that I got as an Audible daily deal. I've said this in a few of my videos. I would not have picked it out if it wasn't an Audible daily deal. The name has a fitness sounding name to it. The author was no one that I recognized. It came in as an Audible daily deal. I read the publisher's summary, and the publisher's summary mentioned some programs that the author had created. And I was familiar with one or two of them, not from me using it, but from friends using them. And I decided, based on what my friends had told me about these programs, that this would probably be one of those really high energy, motivational, go until you drop kind of a book. It might be kind of fun to listen to. So I went ahead and got it. And boy, was I in for a surprise. It was nothing of the sort. Now, personally, I didn't get a whole lot out of the book other than a deep respect for the author. But that's less to do with the content of the book and more to do with where I am in my life. The book is designed for people at a different point in their life than I'm at. And for the right person, this book could be very impactful. But before I explain what I mean, though, I have a favor to ask. If you're an audiobook lover, please subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, and join me in my audiobook journey. Now, the book that I'm talking about is titled T is for Transformation, and it is written and narrated by Shaun T. Now, after listening to the book, I know who Shaun T is. He is the creator of Hip Hop Abs, as well as Insanity, I think the other one is called. They're programs that I've never used, but I've had friends, especially with the Insanity. Oh, yeah, they're doing that, and it's going to transform their lives kind of a thing, and it's the hardest thing they've ever done, which is why I expected it to be this big, motivational, rah-rah kind of a book, because of what they told me about the program. It's not it. The book is part autobiography. Shaun T starts with his childhood and takes you through his life up to where he is now. It's a large part inspirational. It is a book that at times had me crying and at times had me laughing. Shaun T starts off telling you about his traumatic childhood, and he had a very traumatic childhood, from a father that pushed his mom out a window and abandoned them, to a stepfather whom he calls the step monster. Getting kind of warm in here. He calls the step monster because of the sexual abuse that the step monster perpetrated on him as an 8-year-old boy. I don't want to say goes into detail about it, that's wrong. He's very specific and actually names the acts that the step monster did to him. So from a mature standpoint, I would say this is a book for mature adults. But he starts there. He talks about the impact that had on him. He spends a bit of time talking about his sexual identity. He talks about the battles that he had to go through to overcome that childhood. He talks, it's not all bad. He talks about the wonderful grandparents that he had and how they helped to save him from this horrible childhood. He talks about how he got into dance and fell in love with dance. He talks about how at the same time he also got into leading fitness classes, and how all of that transitioned to him developing Hip Hop Abs as well as Insanity. And throughout all of this, he likes to drop what he calls truth bombs. He'll go truth bomb, and then he'll say something like, to raise the level of your game, you've got to raise the level of the people you hang around with. Or a fit body requires a fit life. Something like that. Those aren't exact quotes, but something like that. He'll explain what it means and give some examples of them. Now, the reason I said that I personally didn't get a lot. I'm 50 years old. I didn't have much trauma in my childhood. I don't remember any trauma in my childhood at all, other than my mom developing cancer when I was 14 and dying when I was 17. That's the only trauma I remember from my childhood, quite literally. So I don't have anything from my past. I mean, Mom passed away over 30 years ago. I've had time to move on and move past that. And I don't have anything from my past that's like, holding me down and holding me back. If I did, it would be a wonderful book, and it would be a very helpful book. The truth bombs that he likes to drop are common sense. Now, if you've lived as long as I have, you know there is nothing less common than common sense amongst young people. So if I was younger, a lot of these might have been epiphanies to me, and I might have learned a lot from them. But instead, they were just reminders of things that I already knew. They were phrased differently, they were worded differently, the stories came in differently, so I did gain some benefit from them. I don't mean that I didn't gain benefit from it. I just mean the right person would gain a lot of benefit from this. I gained a huge amount of respect for Shaun T. Didn't know a thing about him, but his willingness to be open and honest about the sexual trauma from his step monster, his battles with his sexual identity, the impact that had on his future relationships. He lays it all out in a fashion that, quite honestly, if the roles were reversed and I was in his shoes, I don't know that I'd be willing and able to be that open and sharing with people, which is why I say I gained a lot of respect for Shaun T. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of strength, and a lot of caring for other people, a big desire to help other people, to I would imagine, to help someone come out and be that honest, to put it all out in a book, release the book to the public and go, hey, you're going to accept me, you're not going to accept me, you're going to judge me, you're not going to judge me, like he does with this audiobook. I'm very glad he narrated. He has a wonderful delivery. He does not sound like he's narrating a book. He does not sound like he's telling stories. He sounds like he's talking to his friends and explaining things. Or he's trying to teach his friends something. When he does the truth bombs and things, he sounds like he's trying to teach his friends different things. Like I said, there is mature content in it, no foul language, but he names the acts that his stepmonster committed on him. He's open about his battles with his sexual identity. He's open with the impact that the stepmonster had on his relationships and some problems it caused between him and his now husband. There were moments, like I said, when the book brought me to tears, when he talks about his escape from the stepmonster and his first night with his grandparents. It honestly had me crying. There's moments that had me laughing. He tells a story about a Janet Jackson concert that he went to and her pulling him up on stage. It's hilarious. And, he makes a comment in there about her dancing and its effect on him that just had me rolling, dying with laughter. It was not a boring book. I listened almost straight through from beginning to end. It wasn't like I had to listen for a bit and then shut the book off. I could easily listen all the way through the entire book. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you like my channel, subscribe. Turn on notifications. Questions, comments, feedback, it's what the comments section is for. Please put them in there. But most importantly, no matter what else you do today, please make sure that today you listen to at least one really good audiobook. And I do recommend T is for Transformation by Shaun T, especially, as I said, if you are someone who has trauma from your past. that is impacting your future. Thank you.